happens to be a zipper song, which means we can insert new words where the word day is, the things we're thankful for. So I invite you to rise in body or in spirit so you can dance if you want. And who's got the next thing? Each time I'll invite somebody to call it out. Who's got the next thing to be thankful for? Sun.
Thank you for the sun, oh, thank you for the sun. Thank you for the sun, oh, thank you for the sun. This healing, this healing, this healing sun. This healing, this healing, this healing sun. Thank you for this love, oh, thank you for this love. Thank you for this love, oh, thank you for this love. This healing, this healing, this healing love. This healing, this healing, this healing love.
What else?
Thank you.
Flowers first.
Thank you for these flowers. 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 These healing, these healing, these healing flowers. These healing, these healing, these healing flowers.
Waters.
Thank you for these waters. Thank you for these waters. Thank you for these waters. Thank you for these waters. These healing, these healing, these healing waters. These healing, these healing, these healing waters.
What else? Music.
Thank you for this music. Thank you for this music. Thank you for this music. Thank you for this music. This healing, this healing, this healing music. This healing, this healing, this healing music.
What else? Friends.
Thank you for these friends, oh, thank you for these friends. Thank you for these friends, oh, thank you for these friends. These healing, these healing, these healing friends. These healing, these healing, these healing friends.
Children.
Thank you for these children. Thank you for these children. Thank you for these children. Thank you for these children. These healing, these healing, these healing children. These healing, these healing, these healing children.
Now, everybody insert your own word, right? Insert your own word that's your next thankfulness.
Thank you for this night. 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 This healing, this healing, this healing night. This healing, this healing, this healing night.
This day.
Thank you for this day, oh, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, oh, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day.
Elizabeth Rose said, I have something for you yesterday. We talked about imagination being a superpower in another service. And so with kind of our... But also because the title of today's service, In a Galaxy Far, Far Away, The Possibilities Are Endless, was sparked in part by the fact that today is the 4th of May. And what does that have to do with anything, some of you may ask? And the rest of you will know already that today's special greeting to other people might be,
May the Fourth be with you.
May the Fourth be with you. Right. Thus do we honor Star Wars Day and World Laughter Day at the same time. Or maybe it's Out of This World Laughter Day. In a moment, when we welcome each other to this time, I'll invite you to share a greeting that feels warm and genuine to you, and maybe it includes May the Fourth be with you, if that's your spirit. And if you're willing to share with at least one other person the answer to this question, with whom did you play as a child? With whom did you play as a child? And if you're a child, with whom do you play now? If you're an adult child, maybe, with whom do you play now? But first, is there a young person in the room who might be willing to play piano with me in a moment? It'll be only black keys, and the great thing is no matter what you play, it will sound fantastic, and Nakai is at the ready. The very first time we did this several years ago, Nakai was the first person to say yes. Great, we get to do it again. So, while everyone is greeting each other and making sure everyone is being greeted and welcomed, Nakai, you and I will go over to the piano and get ready. I invite you to say hello to the people around you. On Zoom too. Nakai, that was beautiful. And I got to hear a whole bunch more of it than you did. I invite us all to check our cell phones to make sure our ringers are off. Yeah, and it's okay to check if you're not 100% sure. It's okay to pull it out and just, oh yeah, I did turn it off. And finally, the Joys and Sorrows table is at the entrance to the sanctuary this morning, with the presence of Carol Grant, our lay pastoral care associate today. Anytime during the service afterwards, you may place a stone in the bowl of water, or more than one stone, to mark the joys that are in your heart this morning, the concerns, the sorrows, the worries, the gladnesses, the hopes, the important pieces of your life that you hold in your heart right now. And with that, I invite Cheryl Spalding to offer our land acknowledgement.
Imagine how this tiny acorn could grow into a huge tree one day, with roots traveling down and out as wide as its branches. Imagine how a large basket of acorns, soaked and ground up and cooked, could feed a family. Imagine that people from another land came to your land, first a few at a time, and suddenly by the thousands, harming your family, your people, the oak trees, and the natural world where your people had lived for thousands of years. Imagine a genocide. Imagine a profound silence around that genocide in the history books, in the community, in the legal standing, in the lack of reparations. Imagine generations later how hard it would be to speak up, to draw attention. Each Sunday, we place a basket of acorns on our altar as a visible, ever-present symbol of our commitment to support the Nevada City Rancheria Nisenan tribe in their effort to regain federal recognition. We commit ourselves to help them in these and other efforts to stabilize their people in whatever ways we can, under their guidance and at their request. Imagine that the Nisenan have regained land, have regrown their presence here in their homeland, have achieved federal recognition. Imagine the Nisenan, from children to elders, thriving. May it be so.
Beautifully written, Lindsay, and beautifully offered, Cheryl. Mick Hayes offers our chalice lighting words this morning, the symbol of our tradition, a flame in a cup, in a chalice.
Good morning. In the soft light of this flame by Reverend Scott Taylor, may this flame spark a vision of what might be. May the supposedly real seem less solid. May the inevitable reveal its carefully concealed cracks. It's all made of pieces and parts, friends, each of them longing to be rearranged. Or maybe it's a story and the pen is in our hand.
With these possibilities, we light our chalice. And we also light our candle of compassion, resistance, and resilience for everything, for all of it. And we send the same light, we send a piece of this same light with our youngest ones on their way to Kids Connection, which they get to do. Well, actually, adults can do it too. Talk to Cheryl. We'll sing them on their way with this little light of mine.
Good morning. I am Lindsay Dunckel, a member of this congregation and serving as worship associate today. And it is my great privilege to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Community of the Mountains. Welcome, one and all, those in the room, those in the chanting room, those watching on Zoom, and those watching later on YouTube. It is good to be together in this space, made holy by our gathering in it. May the 4th be with you. What an act of imagination it was for George Lucas to dream up the many worlds of Star Wars, taking a classic hero's quest story and setting it on the planet Tatooine and on the Death Star and in the Millennium Falcon spaceship. How fitting is it that May the 4th is the first Sunday in a month in which we will explore the theme of imagination. You'll notice that where we usually have a banner with an image that captures our theme, we instead have a blank canvas. We leave the image that evokes imagination to your imagination. I was excited to learn that imagination was the theme that we'd be interacting with all through the month of May. I lived more in my imagination than in the real world throughout my childhood. I remember deciding to put my dollhouse in the basement the week before I started high school because I was afraid if new friends came over, they would think I was immature. So into the basement it went, but it's okay because I kept it. And I brought it back out when my children were little. They too loved imaginative play. And for several years, they each had an imaginary friend who were very present in our household. They were named Fishy Goo and Popsicle Hanger. Did anyone here have an imaginary friend growing up? Yes, what was the name? PC. Adger. I love these. Yeah. Dale.
My daughter had Breezy and Akka.
Breezy and Akka. Children playing with language. Well, these friends helped us distinguish the difference between real and imaginary. And unfortunately, in our adult lives, the real is generally more highly valued. But throughout this month's explorations, we'll have a chance to reconnect with the power of the imagination and its implications and possibilities for our grown-up lives. Imagination in its adult form brings a richness to life. It's the basis of creativity. It's the first step in any invention. It's what allows us to feel empathy or to dream up a new beginning for ourselves or for our world. Sometimes it can be difficult to tap into imagination. The daunting blank canvas or the blank page can freeze us. But when we clear out those judgy voices in our heads, the ones that are saying, no, you can't, you're not good, we find that we can tap into a whole river of imagination that flows just below the surface. So today we're going to explore some of that with several invitations to dip into that river in different ways, just as we did when we supplied the words to the zipper song at the beginning. So to keep us grounded in that river, I invite a gesture of a flowing river. If you lace your fingers together. We remember the ever-flowing river of imagination.
It's a pretty wonderful view. It is like looking out at water, all your waves. The roots of the first play, the first practice we're going to do this morning, go back more than 150 years to Germany, where Justinus Kerner's eyesight was failing, and he started accidentally dropping blots of ink onto paper while he was writing. But instead of throwing the paper away, he found that really interesting shapes appeared if he unfolded a piece of folded paper. Using his imagination, he started adding a few extra strokes and dots and lines to these blots, known as Klecks. It's a German word for blot. Klecks. Here's one of his images.
What happened to instant choir?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I jumped ahead. Thanks, Paul. Instant choir. I am so pleased to announce to you that you have been chosen to be members of the instant choir this morning. And we have a few special people who came early who will help lead us. Come on up. Come on up. Thanks, Paul. So I'm going to call out the words just to put you at ease for each line, but I invite you to sing John Lennon's Imagine. Imagine there's no heaven. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. It's easy if you try. Nice. No hell below us. No hell Above us, only sky. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people. Imagine all the people living for today. Living for today. Ah, ha. Imagine there's no countries. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. And no religion too. Imagine all the people. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer. You may say I'm a dreamer. But I'm not the only one. But I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us. I hope someday you'll join us. And the world will be as one. And the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. No need for greed or hunger. A siblinghood of man. A siblinghood of man. Imagine all the people. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. Sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer. You may say I'm a dreamer. But I'm not the only one. But I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us. I hope someday you'll join us. And the world will live as one. And the world will live as one. Excellent. Thank you. So now back 150 years. Thank you. Although I'm thinking of the way that song, Imagine There's No Heaven, No Hell Below Us, has universalist overtones, right? As we've been talking about recently, the universalists who said, if there's a heaven or if there's a hell, it's what we create here among us based on our actions. So back to Germany and those blots, known as Klecks in German. And so here's one of those images of Justinus. So he took the blots and he added some lines to it, and then later he started adding his poetry around these. Here's another one. As Lindsay points out, very chalice-like. He titled his book Klexographien, or in English, Blotography. It's one of my new favorite words, I think. Blotography. Almost 40 years later, a young boy in Switzerland, Hermann Rorschach, so enjoyed Klexography that his friends nicknamed him Klecks, or Blot. And when Hermann grew up and studied psychology and Sigmund Freud's dream symbolism, he realized that ink blots plus people's imagination might help people understand what's inside their minds and hearts in a way that no conscious thinking could. An idea that led, of course, to his Rorschach tests. And so today, some of you on the way in helped us create some Rorschach blots. And what I'm going to invite you to do is call out what you see in this image. Okay, and then for each one, we'll have Eileen name some of the things that people type into the chat online. So if all goes well, I'm going to share my screen. Here's our first one. It's a party. It's dancing. It's a merry-go-round. It's a bird. It's a
I see fallopian tubes.
fallopian tubes. Some folks in the back who are farther away, what do you see? An MRI scan image. Frogs. Yeah. Eileen, is there anybody online who's typed anything in? What do people online see in this?
Yeah, field of flowers, two men
Hot
holding
dogs, I hear here.
two men holding hands while skipping, a big face, a toad, pelvis, butterfly, a flying dance in a meadow.
Next one, if all goes well. Here's my image. Oh, how interesting. My iPad thinks I'm trying to control it. Let me. They're connected. I'm going to turn that off for a second and back on. This is a new one. Every Sunday we have something new. So let me just share the next one. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Imagination and creativity in process. What do you see? I hear fish. I hear chimpanzees. Ovaries. Embryos. So I'm going to invite you to raise your hand if you've got one so we can hear a little bit. Beryl.
Ladies of the lake.
Ladies of the lake. Shanti. Two Indian chiefs or two lions, did you say? Lungs. Two lungs. Two chameleons sticking out their tongues. The brain, right and left hemispheres? Two Buddhas facing each other, facing off. Two upside down elephants. Two people holding candles to each other.
Identical twin genies blowing on dandelions.
Identical twin genies blowing on dandelions. Scotty. Two poodles? Two poodles at play. Eileen, online, anyone?
Loads, fluid folk praying, two worms standing on mountains singing, elephant ears, pouting faces, elephants in a circus. We have a lot of elephants. A sad slug looking at its image in a pond. Heads with big bodies, river people. Two blue people looking at each other. Two blue meanies sticking their tongues out at one another. Two bears facing each other. Pair of slippers, ice cream, and feathers. Oh, sorry, one more. Grubs conversing.
Grubs conversing. Next, let's start with people who haven't offered a response yet out loud. So folks who haven't, if you'd raise your hand, I'll help us here. So people who haven't made a response yet. Butterfly. Dervish dance. Aboriginal headset, did you say? A cat looking at fireworks. A black cat looking at fireworks.
A wizard casting spells from a cauldron.
A wizard casting spells from a cauldron. I love these. Yeah. A hummingbird.
A woman in the middle dancing and flaring out her dress.
A woman in the middle dancing and flaring out her dress.
A dog just
A dog just ate too much hot salsa. So Eileen, would you just read a few of the ones from online?
Okay. A raven dreaming in technicolor. Two parrots molting. Sunset lake reflection. Phoenix rising from the ashes. And butterfly and feather moth.
So we're going to do a couple rapid. We're just going to do them briefly. See what comes to mind. Again, let's start with the folks who haven't responded, and then we'll go to the fast processors as needed. Oops, not that one. Who hasn't responded yet? What do you see? Sorry? Kern.
Chinese dancers.
Chinese dancers. Tom. Somebody carrying like 2 buckets of water with one of those yokes over their shoulders. Yeah.
Someone meditating and they have dreadlocks.
Someone meditating and they have dreadlocks. Eileen, just 2 or 3 from online?
Pink spider with golden legs. Chinese lady carrying items balanced on head. And bee spinning pollen.
These are quite beautiful, aren't they? That one we're saving. Couple responses, yeah. That's a crab. A yellow spine. A yellow spine? Yeah. Mm-hmm. A placenta. Seeking enlightenment. A couple from online.
Let's see, we've got a couple of spines and ornamental headdress and inner light within.
What do you see? A clown, Kern.
Halloween costume.
Halloween costume. Okay, we're opening it up again. If you'd raise your hand, I'll know who to. Yeah.
It's a landscape with a mountain at the end.
It's a landscape with a mountain at the end.
Melted Legos.
Melted Legos. A hungry jack-o'-lantern. Eileen, a couple from online?
Smashing pumpkins and molten fire.
I think. Oh, yeah, one more. What was that? It's going to be this for the moment. We turned a couple of them upside down on purpose, right? Right, with the knot, yeah.
I see a cow breathing fire.
A cow breathing fire. A frog swimming in a lake. So originally we intended to do this with all of them. What do you see? A heart. A ferret? A parrot. A parrot. A gorilla. Animals. Eileen, a couple from online, for either version of this.
Newborn being born. And my grandson's occasional mood.
Oh, fabulous. It is fun. We're going to leave it there for the moment. I think we're ready for our river gesture.
We remember the ever-flowing river of imagination. I have here a wooden spoon, but it is so much more. So, we're going to invite ideas of what this object could be that's not a wooden spoon. So there's an old test where they gave people a box of tacks, a piece of string, and a candle, and they said, attach the candle to the wall in a way that it can burn. And the people who figured it out dumped the tacks out of the box and realized it could be a candle holder and not just a holder for the tacks, right? They used their imaginations to reinvent it, to see it as something more than how it had been presented. So what could this be? What do you think, Kevin? A fishing rod. What else can we make Kevin do? A back scratcher and a paddle. Now, also, if you're feeling inspired and you would like to come forward and take it from him, you are welcome to do that. Other ideas for, yes, Carol. A golf club. A racket. A shoehorn. I hear a shovel. Yeah. An instrument of my mother's frustration when I was a child.
Actually, before Thanksgiving, I had a hot water pipe break, and it became the stopper because there were no people to fix the hot water before Thanksgiving. So it became a stopper, so the whole house didn't flood with hot water.
A hot water pipe stopper in an emergency. What?
A Q-tip for a giant.
A magic wand. To be that wizard casting those spells we just saw.
A baby doll.
Lucy. A lightsaber, of course. Had to help with that one.
Half a sword fight.
Oh, a sword for a sword fight. Half a sword fight. Half a sword fight. A canoe. A conundrum.
An eye patch.
An eye patch.
Conductor's baton.
A conductor's baton. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. An exclamation point. Ta-dum.
The spoon I got paddled with if I misbehaved.
Yeah, the spoon I got paddled with, I misbehaved. I think that one came up once before too.
One character in a puppet show.
One character in a puppet show. It's a puppet monologue.
A lollipop.
A lollipop. All right, do we have any from online, Eileen?
1/2 of a knitting needle set or a crochet hook, and a hairbrush.
We remember the ever-flowing river of imagination.
Klexography, or blottography as the case may be, made its way to the United States in 1896, and a similar game was described by Ruth McHenry Stewart and Albert Bigelow Payne in a book titled Gobblelinks, or Shadow Pictures for Young and Old. The book explained how to make ink blot. They called them monsters, gobblelinks, and they used them as prompts for writing imaginative verse. So we're going to approach our ink blot a little more openly. It doesn't have to be a monster. And we're going to invite you to create several poems together by each writing one line or phrase or word of poetry without knowing anyone else's lines or words or phrases. So what will the the idea, the line of poetry, and if you're not sure where to go with it, maybe it's the color that speaks to you, and you offer a word for that color in some way. So we're going to respond to one more of your beautiful, by the way, your very beautiful klexigraphs from today. So we're going to pass around pieces of paper, and you'll have a chance to write your word or your line, or in Zoom just to type into the chat. But if you're on Zoom, I invite you to write your line or word or phrase before you look at anybody else's. So here's the prompt. While the paper's coming around, you can be thinking, what's your line, word, or phrase to add to the poem? Yep, one line or one phrase or one word. You'll write it on your slip of paper. Based on this is the prompt. What does this inspire? Just know that it's going to be part of a poem. And it might help not to think too hard, to let what comes up come up for you. And I'll suggest, if you're finished with yours, go ahead and raise your hand. We'll start collecting as they're ready. We are ultimately going to use them all in some form or fashion, but not all of them in this moment, just in case you're watching your clocks. So we're going to, afterwards, we'll continue to put these together in some poems, and we will share them. So Lindsay, I suggest we'll start, and we'll let people continue writing and
I am a wizard, Buddha, butterfly, a dream that includes everyone. The interwoven plush fabric, a planet with an ammonia atmosphere. Elephant blues.
Gold leaves abound. There is only love. Griffin, heaven on earth, happiness, gate of heaven, thanksgiving, gratitude, a cat's imagination, wings at the top, skipping rocks one by one, warmth, snow becomes water, stillness becomes motion.
Benevolent demon. Stretch. Neglecting gifts from afar, beginning and spreading outward. Golden wings on mountaintops, marvel.
From our 30 or so folks online, golden wings flying, a joyful summer afternoon by the ocean, grumbling and dreaming, staunchly, nobly. Celestial magnificence, eaglets, a new perspective from the air, golden leaves glittering in the sky, spread-eagled in the stars.
And one last poem that we'll put together, but we'll put these back with the coffee hour, and you all can assemble some poems too later on, should you wish. Those ones are blank. The condition, blank verse. Thank you, Scotty. The condition of our earth in the not too distant future. Angry cat caught in a mist. It caught in a mist net, eats the birds. Unbelievable. Halloween jamboree, leaves scattered on the lake. Be whatever you want to be. Thank you. We remember the ever-flowing river of imagination.
As a person with illegible penmanship, I want to thank you for your legible handwriting as well. So in the blot or Rorschach experience, what we see in the blot, as we discovered, is based on what we've already seen in our lives, at least at first. As in looking at cloud formations, in what at first appears to be random or chaotic, we start to recognize patterns that we know. It's imagination as a form of openness to unexpected recognition, allowing ourselves to see something where we didn't expect maybe to find anything. With the implement improv, with the spoon, we let our imaginations open to allow something very familiar to have new and unexpected roles and possibilities. Unexpected possibilities within it, in fact. Through our imagination, we free it from the limits of our usual expectations. And in our community poetry, we pool our individual imaginations to create something larger and quite unpredictable and wonderful together. The poems themselves become verbal Rorschachs, opening up new meanings and insights as we try to listen for what it might mean. So all month long, we'll be asking in our minds and hearts, what does any of this have to do with Unitarian Universalism and being a Unitarian Universalist community? One goal today, as we've been pursuing at the beginning of each month recently, is just to stir up and open up the possibilities that are inherent in each theme. In this case, imagination, to enrich our pool of possibilities as we explore it all month long. And we ask, what does this have to do with us? What does imagination have to do with us in this moment? Our UU Tradition's approach to religion was born in and is continually enlivened by people's willingness and ability to imagine new possibilities for existing realities. To imagine new uses for religion, for example. And deeper than that, new ways of understanding what religion is and what is essential in it. Always new ways of understanding sacred texts and teachers and God and heaven and hell and religious community. New ways of understanding what spirituality is, distinct from our expected definitions, maybe. Our Unitarian Universalist tradition asks us to make room for new possibilities within each person, including within ourselves, and new possibilities for society and human flourishing and care. Our UU tradition invites us to look for and recognize patterns in what at first appears to be utter chaos or randomness, where we might least expect to find meaning. Invites us to make meaning out of our experience, not someone else's predetermined meaning, but our own unfolding meaning, rooted in our own experience and informed then by each other's experiences and insights and stories and pattern finding. Our Unitarian Universalist tradition insists that our well-being is bound to one another's well-being, and that the way inward and the way outward and forward are fed powerfully when we're willing to pool our insights, our wisdom, our experience, our care, our imagination. As Mark Morrison Reed put it, the central task of religious community is to unveil the bonds that bind each to all. Alone, our vision is too narrow to see all that must be seen, and our strength too limited to do all that must be done. Together, our vision widens, and our strength is renewed. As we find our way this month and far beyond, may that be so. Together, may our vision widen and our strength be renewed.
I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths. A Prayer for the Faithifiers by Hilary Allen. Gracious One, keep watch on the innovators, the trailblazers, the takers of risk. Invite us to be persons of vision and integrity. Help us to remember the mystery from which possibility is born. Lead us to honor the sacred space where ministries, idealists, and realists meet. encourage us to imagine more than just what is. Fill our hearts in times of discouragement. Keep our eyes on the long now. Through our efforts, let us know the fruits of connection and a deeper faith. Earlier this morning, we sang, "Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. Imagine all the people sharing all the world." Here at UUCM, we get to, we get to practice this bit of imagination each Sunday as we share what we have with a local nonprofit. This month, that local nonprofit is the Care Crisis Nursery. Is there anyone here to talk about who's a representative of the Care Crisis Nursery this morning? Perhaps next week. The Care Crisis Nursery is one of only 4 in all of California. We are so lucky to have one here in Nevada County, and lucky to have had Lynn Warner and her team using their imagination to dream up this idea that Nevada County could sustain this wonderfully warm, nurturing, and protective place where parents who don't have a network of care can have a safe place to leave their child if they need a medical appointment or any other crisis that might be arising for their family, where their child can be safe and held and they can relax to take care of their needs and focus on themselves and their healing that they need to do. Will the greeters please come forward to accept this morning's offering? Thank you for your generosity. we dedicate this offering to the ideal of a beloved community imagined by our UU forebearers, in which all are cared for with respect and integrity.
Thanks for playing imaginatively with us this Sunday when we have shifted from the theme of joy, which at first seemed daunting and then seemed very welcome, to this natural extension, right, to the theme of imagination. Thanks to Lindsay very much for being our imaginative, improvisatory worship associate. Thank you to our intrepid instant choir members who came early to help have the song ready and help lead, and for all of you for being part of the choir. Andy Dooley Miller and Paul, who's going by Paul E. today, for operating our sound, especially Andy on a weekend when the Celtic Festival is going on. And Andy is still here. This is amazing. Thank you. Eileen for being our chat host so beautifully every time. Shanti for beautiful setting. For all of you who made artwork at the beginning, there are a couple here that we'll get on the table, but the rest of are on the table in the library if you want to come and see them live and maybe even turn them around so you can see them in different configurations. Gwen and Jean and Laura, thanks for greeting so beautifully. Carol for being our lay worship associate. Katz and Elizabeth and Joyce for working on refreshments, and please thank Corey, Silva, and Cheryl Spalding when you see them for being with our youngest ones. I want to name that the auction, the online auction for those who know, is extended through 8 o'clock this evening. So there's still a chance to go bid on really some wonderful things online. If you're not sure how to do that, Lori is here. Are there anyone else to ask for help with the auction piece? Just ask around a bit. So there's still time to do that. We're doing our final elevator speech session for the series this week, but then there'll be a one-day chance coming up a little bit later in May. Humanism discussion group meets, the writers group meets, the book group meets next Sunday, all kinds of things going on. If you've been trying to learn a little bit more about what this whole Unitarian Universalist thing is, we're going to meet in the library at about noon, and we'll do a little exploring of that together. So please feel free to join. The Joys and Sorrows candlelight service on Thursday begins with harp music by Betsy Hayden at 6:30. Come early for the music. We get so settled and calmed and ready for then that very meditative Joys and Sorrows service. And as always, the website has all kinds of other information. We encourage you to sign up for the newsletter, the e-chalice, and to find out more. With that, Paul, we're going to jump all the way ahead to the closing words, closing sounds. I've shared other times the idea that the primary background frequency of the universe is said to be a very, very, very low B flat. And it's also true that actually the universe hums in all kinds of frequencies, right? So I invite us to close to share a hum together at whatever vibration frequency, whatever note, whatever tone feels most right and natural and genuine and true to you. So I invite you to rise in body or in spirit to get ready to breathe well. We'll take a nice full breath and we'll do a one breath hum, and every sound will be exactly right. Your lips are just, everything's calm in your mouth and face, and just a gentle hum with one big breath to take us in. The words and wisdom of Scott Taylor. May the supposedly real seem less solid. A hum. May the inevitable reveal its carefully concealed cracks. It's all made of pieces and parts, friends. each of them longing to be rearranged. Or maybe it's a story, or a splotch, or a poem, and the pen and the paint and the possibilities are in our hands. Remembering that we are not alone, we share these good words with each other as we extinguish our chalice, but carry all that it represents. Together we will carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. Please join us for extra fabulous refreshments, some from the auction yesterday, and for connecting, and maybe our chance to find out about UU. And we'll see you next Sunday for Boundary or Horizon, our continuing exploration of imagination.